On both sides. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you right now to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, FUNOTI. Touch them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Have Fun on the Indies. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
And guess what, Jeff?
What?
You can catch us on Twitter at HaveFunOTI. There you'll find all the links for all our social media. Facebook, for our videos, for our audio on YouTube, Archive, SoundCloud, Vimeo. And I have a question. Where the hell are your manners?
What manners?
Hey, Jeff.
Did my phone go off again?
Hey, Jeff, did anybody teach you any manners? Because we've been talking about this guy who's been making us this pretty sick logo for our show to make us look professional. And not once have we even mentioned his username.
I thought we were going to photo credit after he gave us the finished product.
Is that what you thought?
That was my plan. I mean, maybe I should communicate with you more.
Should I just throw this podcast into the garbage?
No.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have a packed show of professional wrestling to talk about. Dear God, I'm discombobulated. I've watched so many hours of this shit. I don't know what I'm doing. So bear with us. Anyways, let's get straight to the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. We all know that to be the WWE. Actually, I don't even know if this is considered WWE news, but I guess it is because WWE was involved in it. Colt Cabana and CM Punk versus WWE Doctor in a lawsuit. You know that's been going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the verdict is in. The jury decided that CM Punk and Colt Cabana are not liable for any damages that came out of that podcast because, you know, the whole thing started with fucking CM Punk, once again, not wanting to swallow his pride, not one bit, goes on a podcast after he leaves the WWE, starts talking all kinds of mess about their doctor, about how their doctor was incompetent, about how their doctor didn't treat him the right way, which, if you're an adult, you can't just do that, because a guy makes a living off of patients.
Yeah. You're
going to start degrading his profession. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Especially when that doctor is backed by millions of dollars in the WWE.
Exactly.
Anyways, I'm glad this thing's over with because it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the fact that CM Punk has a fight very soon after that trial.
Yeah.
A real fight.
In a few days.
In the UFC. The highest level of mixed martial arts.
Uh-huh.
And he has to go through all this emotional shit. It's already bad enough. It's already hard enough to go through training camp, to have to go through all the UFC interviews, media day, fight week, and amongst all that shit, you have a court case you gotta fucking fight.
Yeah.
Not only any court case, a court case that could have changed his life.
Mm-hmm.
A court case that he could have lost millions on. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Days before his fight.
Crazy fucking business.
I mean, was that on purpose or not?
Ah, man. See, that's a damn good question. Was it on purpose or not? Because a lot of people say that WWE's lawyers or Vince or whomever
is vindictive.
Very.
Very?
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised by that?
You think if he ever goes back to the WWE, they're going to do the Kiss My Ass Club with CM Punk? You think CM Punk would ever be able to do that?
I hope Vince
You think he'd swallow his pride for just a little bit to do that?
I hope at that point Vince is old and crippled and has to be helped out of a wheelchair.
Because I'm not in the WWE locker room, but from the way CM Punk talks and from the way a lot of other wrestlers talked, it seems like CM Punk was difficult to work with sometimes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about professional wrestling. There comes a time where you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of your ideas and mesh with somebody else's ideas. It's just the way it goes. You can't have everything 100% every little detail to your liking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that work to get you to be a superstar. It's not just you. You're the ultimate talent. You're the one that either does well at the promos or sucks at the promos. You're the one that either wrestles a good match or fucks up a match.
Yeah.
So a lot of it does depend on you because you're the one performing, but you're not the only one. It's almost a team thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to swallow your pride a little bit.
Yeah.
Too much pride has been the downfall of many a wrestler, and too much pride has been the downfall of many a powerful man in the history of humanity. CM Punk needs to learn that sometimes you have to swallow your pride.
It's not all your create a wrestler on WWE 2K18 and everything you want.
Exactly.
It's going to be every time.
If you want to be in control of everything, become a booker. Start your own company.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
Anyways, now that we're done with that little bit of news, keep on rolling with the WWE train.
Oh, yeah.
We got Monday Night Raw.
Let's start the week off right. You know WWE stands for Walk. With Elias, I guess.
Jeff, can you be a little bit more enthusiastic?
It's Elias. I'll try.
It fucking sounds like you're dying.
It is. It was a pretty interesting start to the show and angle.
It wasn't bad. So, Monday Night Raw this week. Starts off with Elias.
Singing to you live.
Doing what you love. Doing what everybody loves.
Coming at me live.
Elias in concert. Anyways, he's out there. He does his songs or whatnot. Who interrupts?
Seth Rollins interrupts.
The main thing I got out of that whole angle is that I thought was pretty cool was they had the whole chair versus guitar thing going on. They both swing. Guitar shatters all over the place. I'm a big fucking mark for the whole guitar thing. I like when Jeff Jarrett did it. I like when New Jack did it. And I like when this guy does it. Anyways, things start getting physical, right? Out of the blue, Roman Reigns interrupts.
After Mahal jumps.
Oh, that's right.
Mahal comes in, helps Elias attack Rollins.
That's right.
And then who comes to Rollins' rescue but his Shield brother, Roman Reigns. Back to that tone of voice.
I know, right? What happened?
I cut those kinds of promos.
Wow.
Because you're a bitch, John Cena.
Oh my God, shut up, dude.
I'm
Anyways,
just being Roman Reigns. I'm just quoting
the
Raven.
Roman Reigns comes out, right?
To save Seth.
Evens the odds a little bit, which leads to Kurt Angle coming out.
It's going to be a tag match, playa.
Yeah, we kind of seen that coming. Anyways, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Elias and Jinder Mahal. Who wins that, Jeff?
Mahal and Elias.
Mahal and Elias win. It was an okay match. You know, it was a good opener for Monday Night Raw.
It was.
Set the
It
tone.
was
All
pretty
these guys are
entertaining,
talented.
actually.
You know, it wasn't a freaking 5-star match by any means, but you shouldn't expect that all the time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Good opener to Raw.
Moving on. Baron Corbin ruins Kurt Hawkins' search for win number 1. I know a lot of people hate this angle. I like this angle. I find it hilarious. A losing streak. They straight up flipped that whole Goldberg thing around, didn't they? So, fucking Kurt Hawkins is wrestling the epitome of a jobber. Right? The epitome of a jobber.
More than the epitome.
He was trying to avoid making it 200 losses in a row.
I think everybody was going to get a free taco if he didn't.
Fuck New Japan. Anyways.
Free taco if he pulls out a win.
That's another thing, man. It's like, holy shit, the WWE wastes a lot of food.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know if it's because I'm broke. I don't know if it's for what reason it could be. But man, they seem to waste a lot of food. A whole table of tacos just straight up hit the mat.
The tacos looked good. I don't know about
They look delicious.
I don't know about those B-Team bologna sandwiches at last week's barbecue, but you're right. That's 2 weeks in a row that WWE has wasted enough food to feed a small country.
Right? Goes to show you. God
Right?
damn. Anyways, to sum it all up, Baron Corbin interrupts the match, attacks Harden, which causes...
Hawkins.
No, attacks Harden, which causes a disqualification, which causes
Oh, yeah.
Hawkins to lose.
I'm laughing the whole time.
Let's learn the rules of professional wrestling.
I'm like, who? Oh, the indie guy.
Yeah, and then
Having fun on
at the end of the match, there's tacos everywhere. There's tacos on Hawkins. The hilarity continues, I suppose.
Food fight.
Moving on. Oh, here's something I'm interested in. I'm always interested in angles that have Ronda Rousey in them. And right now, whenever Ronda Rousey's around, Nia Jax is around.
Yay.
So we had Nia Jax wrestle her friend, Natalya, who's also kind of Ronda Rousey's friend.
Yeah.
So you see the predicament here, right? They have a decent match. Towards the end of the match, Natalya goes to hit the rope. Her leg buckles. She's injured. Nia Jax takes advantage.
Exactly.
Wins the match. Ronda Rousey comes out at the end of the match and tries to console Natalya, worried about her injury. But Natalya's like, wait a minute, I'm also worried about her injury. It's like a three-way friendship thing kind of thing, where it's like Natalya's put in the middle. Is she going to have to choose? She's not going to have to choose. My whole thing is, I can't wait till Ronda wins that championship.
Yeah.
And starts being promoted as a champion, starts traveling the world as a champion, and starts making the championship mean something good again. I can't wait.
I feel like we're going to just promote pay-per-views all day today.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank.
I know.
June 17th.
Money in the Bank is coming up here soon.
Get a subscription to the network. 30 days for free.
Hey, you might be being sarcastic, but the fucking network's worth it.
It's all true.
The network's really worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Dear God, you get all the content I wish I had when I was a child.
Yeah.
All the content I
And
wish
more.
I had when I was a teenager, all at my fingertips.
Stuff you didn't even know you wanted.
Documentaries, interviews, matches, full events. You get pay-per-views. I mean, for God's sakes, if you're bitching about the WWE Network and its price, fucking lose my number. How about
Oh,
that?
man, I could buy a cheeseburger for $9.99.
Anyways, moving on. Cheeseburger. Sounds delicious. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Roode is our next match. That was a good match.
Yeah, I like
They're
that.
both good workers. Braun Strowman is a good big guy. Bobby Roode, you know, I felt like he was going to make it far a lot quicker in the WWE, but it looks like they don't have much for him at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah,
Winner of the match, Braun Strowman.
obviously. I feel like that was a good place for them right now because they're both main event guys.
Right.
And they're kind of like, they kind of don't have anything for them, you can tell. And they're in the mid-card. I hope that they continue with this a little bit.
You know what I like part of that match? Believe it or not, I'm warming up to the fact that they're making Braun Strowman kind of be like the Hulk, where he has a little bit of superhuman strength.
Yeah.
You know, they're making you they're making their own reality, and I like it. It's not bad to me. I enjoyed it at first. I mean, I don't want to see him flipping over ambulances and trucks and all this other shit.
a little much.
It's a little
I
much.
wasn't a fan of
But in
that.
this match, what's his face? Bobby Roode put a ladder in the way to stop him from being chased from Braun Strowman.
What
Braun
you gonna do
Strowman.
now?
Braun Strowman looked at the ladder and he Hulk smashed that
Just
thing.
smashed it in two.
That was believable,
Yeah.
and that was kind of awesome.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed it.
Bobby Roode's reaction was great. That was a cool little spot
Yep.
right there.
It was a great piece of business.
Good
that
match.
was.
Good match. I hope they build on this. I know it's just build up to Money in the Bank, but I hope they continue.
They had a
Number
decent tag team number one contenders battle royal. They had pretty much every tag team you could think of on Monday Night Raw. To get straight to the point, the B team won the battle royal. It's whatever, man.
The barbecue was not in vain for last week, right?
Yeah, I remember the barbecue. Thanks for bringing up the barbecue.
I did it twice. Bologna sandwiches.
Yeah, let's embarrass Rhino some more.
B-team bologna sandwiches as Rhino jobs out to these losers. All right.
Dude, really? You sound hella bitter.
I'm bitter.
moving
I'm
on.
bitter about the Rhino thing, man.
Hey, here's something that's been making fucking people bitter. The Bobby Lashley, Sami Zayn stuff.
Internet heat.
Sami Zayn comes out this week. Well, actually, Bobby Lashley comes out this week, calls out Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says, hell yeah, I'll make my way to the ring, except I'm going to be in the crowd. In the safe confines of the crowd. Lashley wanted to get his hands on him. Sami Zayn was too far away. They talked smack. And here's the thing that did it. Here's the zinger that got some people's panties in a bunch. Zayn kept calling Lashley a liar about all his credentials and then said, hey man, did you actually even serve in this country's military, or are you lying? Which, if you're someone that has served, is kind of the ultimate insult.
Yeah. Accusations of stolen valor are a serious thing.
Yeah, they truly are. But hey, in my opinion, they need to do something along those lines. They need to raise awareness of this angle because Bobby Lashley has not been he's not been a big deal lately.
No.
And I feel he's big deal material.
Mm-hmm, that's what I've been saying. Like, this whole thing started a few weeks ago, and Sammy was cutting promos and stuff on him, and Bobby's not even anywhere near him at the beginning. He's in a 6-man tag match. I think I've said that for the last 3 weeks. I'm glad that the last 2 weeks they've had interaction.
Right.
And I'm actually really excited to see that match. So, good stuff.
Anyways, it is good stuff. Moving on. Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad.
6-woman tag match.
Who won that match, Jeff?
Bayley, Banks, and Ember Moon.
Defeated the Riot Squad. Good match. Yeah. Not horrible. You know, the women have really stepped it up in these ages, in this era nowadays. We talked about that. It's pretty cool. Moving on. Pretty good match. A guy I'm a big fan of, Kevin Owens. So it was Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. Winner of that match, Balor defeated Owens by disqualification.
Yeah.
Owens got crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Owens assaulted Balor. Balor fights back. There's a giant ladder in the middle of the ring.
Oh, yeah.
He does the coup de grace from the top of the ladder. Awesome.
That was
I always
awesome.
like spots like that. That's the whole thing about the Money in the Bank stuff. I'm a big, huge fan of ladder matches.
Yeah.
Always have been.
A fan of ladder matches.
And that ding, ding, ding that might have came out on the mic was my phone.
It was unprofessionalism.
Hey, man.
Hey, I was guilty of it last week, and I think even the week before.
Oh, and it just keeps going. Fight. It just keeps fucking going, doesn't it?
Can't get it in fast enough. Well, that was Raw. We will be moving on to Vince's second wacky circus show.
Wacky circus show? That's how you're going to describe these things?
I had a better saying for it, but cat got my tongue.
Okay.
Literally.
So we're going to move on to SmackDown. Here, let me pull up some of the results here. We watched it, but I can't remember fucking everything, especially after the hours upon hours upon hours of professional wrestling we watched.
Yes. Other professional wrestling.
Anyways.
Not entertainment. Anyways.
SmackDown, which in my opinion is the pro wrestling portion of the WWE, which to me right now is the A show, starts off with Carmella. Carmella
comes out, cuts
a pretty damn good promo, which shows that she might not be the best wrestler. However, her promos are fucking sick.
Girl can talk. She's great on the mic. Definitely.
Then what happens, Jeff?
She does a few little highlight packages of Asuka and her undefeated streak and how many days it's been and how awesome Asuka looks. And then shows that one faithful day at WrestleMania like it's a bad thing, where Charlotte finally beats her. Like,
right.
She got all the way to WrestleMania and lost to Charlotte Flair. There's no shame in that.
Right.
So, Asuka comes out to confront Carmella.
Okay.
And Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose come out. And Paige comes out after that.
Okay. Because guess what, Jeff?
Yeah.
My device
is glitching in front of me like you become a bot and you have a virus.
It's incredibly glitching right now. I don't know if I downloaded AIDS onto this thing.
Downloaded AIDS onto this
But these results were fucking up.
Are hearsay.
They're not hearsay.
I'll just give you a minute there.
Anyways,
to get your tablet together.
I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm not lying.
There we go. We've got text, just no photo.
No, we don't have results or nothing. Look, I just accidentally pulled up a guy who's just summarizing.
Just doing what we're doing, but in written word.
Oh my god, dude.
Who uses that anymore? It's not like people read magazines or the newspaper anymore, right?
And now my thing froze to the point where I can't even.
Oh my goodness. So anyways, from the notes that we shorthanded over here and that wonderful thing I call a notepad, I see for SmackDown we have the Asuka picked to fight Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Paige gave her the option to face one or the other, and she picked both.
Okay.
I mean, she's gonna whoop both their asses straight up. I already knew that.
Okay.
But Carmella manages to even the odds, I guess. And What are you pointing at? Quick read it. It's not like I'm dying over here because I've drank way too much.
Anyways, Asuka arrived to confront Carmella after all those highlight packages, after all that stuff happened. She arrived to confront Carmella, but Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville interrupted.
Yep.
Talk happened. The former Absolution members both wanted a match against the Japanese. Asuka, who's sick as fuck, by the way, still, I'm divided between her and Charlotte Flair. Who am I going to pick?
You'll pick Charlotte.
SmackDown General Manager Paige gets involved in the mix. Asuka wants to face both those girls, and we'll see what happens. Asuka versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Because Asuka is freaking strong style, because Asuka will slap the shit out of you. Pretty cool. Result, Asuka wins via submission.
Yep.
After the match, Carmella blasted Asuka with the SmackDown Women's title, which keeps on, keeps the feud going.
Keeps building up.
And, which I'm not mad at, because Carmella is not the best in-ring performer. However, when you have someone like Asuka helping her, it's going to be awesome, because Carmella has got mic skills, as we've said.
She's only going to improve.
Yeah, she's only going to improve, and that whole gift of gab that the WWE loves, it's in her.
It's enough that she'll be able to survive with her skills in ring as of now.
We had Harper versus Carl Anderson. Anderson wins via pinfall. Moving on.
It's a good build-up for the tag match.
This was not bad. Jimmy Uso and Naomi versus Lana and Aiden English. Not a bad match. It is what it is. It was supposed to be a quick, entertaining segment. Something fast. Uso and Naomi win via pinfall. The couple win via pinfall. Then we have AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura contract signing. Interesting as hell. Especially because, who surprised me? Shinsuke Nakamura has surprised me with the fact that he can't speak English fluently, but yet still knows how to really act really good. Still knows how to act like a WWE heel.
Yeah.
It's very surprising because his English isn't perfect.
He's doing a very good job of that.
Paige oversaw the contract signing, right? Obviously, Shinsuke delayed signing. He was talking about something along the lines of the pens are out of ink. He's being a dick. AJ Styles' patience wore thin. Had to be held back by WWE officials. And at the end of the thing, champion AJ Styles slaps the crap out of Nakamura. Just slaps him. Sets up some animosity. Keeps the thing going. It's a very old school angle. I like it.
Yeah, I liked it. It had a very good old school
feel
to it. I like the whole thing.
Next, we have who I'm going to say is probably my favorite women's wrestler in all of WWE besides maybe Asuka. Asuka and her, it's always a battle. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Wow.
I'll have to just side note. Sasha's my favorite, but Becky's probably my second. That's kind of cool. Little side note. Anyway.
Jeff, you got to raise your voice.
Anyways.
We can't even hear you.
It's just a
I'm
side
looking at the volume levels, and they're so low.
It's just a side note.
Okay.
Anyways.
Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch obviously put on one of those 90s performances where it's like back and forth wrestling, WWE style.
It was
awesome,
a clinic.
Awesome fucking match.
Wrestling
After the
clinic.
match, the two superstars embraced. The winner of the match was Becky Lynch via submission.
Yeah, good match. I really enjoyed that match. I'm
Dude.
probably going to go back and watch that match again, actually.
Incredible match.
Match of the night for SmackDown,
Incredible match. It could have been the match of the night for SmackDown. It probably could have been the match of the night for the week.
Yeah, for the week, but it's been a busy week.
Super busy week, so that might be a stretch. Anyways, next we have Big Cass interview.
Oh, yay.
Called
So
Bryan's
excited for that.
WrestleMania victory a fluke.
Wow.
And said he's going to hurt his Money in the Bank opponent. I mean, there wasn't much to it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Then we had The New Day versus The Miz, Rusev, and Samoa Joe.
All right, Samoa Joe.
Not a bad match. Not a bad match at all. All these guys are pretty talented in the ring, and all these guys are pretty talented on the mic, including The New Day.
Yeah, The New Day's been surprising us a lot in the last few weeks.
The New Day wins via pinfall. It was all the infighting. The infighting led to The Miz facing The New Day alone because he's a dick and nobody can put up with him.
Yeah.
I'm still love hating The Miz. by the way.
Yeah,
I still remember the times where he was a reality TV star and fucking was fresh in the WWE.
I will never forget that. That's how old I am. I've seen those episodes of The Real World.
Wow.
I remember The Miz.
That was the main event for SmackDown. All in all, it wasn't a super wrestling-fueled SmackDown. It wasn't a super wrestling-fueled SmackDown, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad at all.
That Charlotte match and Becky Lynch match alone made it worth it. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, this week, SmackDown was probably better than Raw.
Yeah.
But we also have to understand they're not gonna let it all hang out these next couple weeks because they're trying to let it all hang out at Money in the Bank.
We're 2 weeks away from Money in the Bank?
Yeah, something along those lines. Anyways, we're nearing the halfway point of this delicious podcast.
Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of things to talk about. On the second half, we've got the
ridiculous amounts of things to talk about.
Finals and winner of the New Japan Best of Super Juniors tournament. And we've got 2 more tournaments to talk about. And they smell like copper.
And the other thing we have to talk about. Did you even say that guy's screen name that's making our logo? We should at least say it.
Of the Dead 209. Follow him on Instagram.
Of the Dead 209. Thank you for the logo, man. Thank you for the work.
It's awesome. We love it.
We appreciate it. And hopefully one day, if we can do things, we'll help the guy out. It's a little business he's got going.
Well, when will we unveil the logo itself?
It might be a couple of weeks. I'll announce it the podcast before we do it, the week before we do it.
We have a special thing coming up soon. I think maybe we launch it then and launch something else.
As a matter of fact, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
we do have a special thing coming up. Guess where we're going here in a couple of weeks?
For the second, third, technically the 4th show we've been to, we're going to the G1 special at the Cow Palace.
New Japan
July
Pro Wrestling.
7th.
We're heading our asses to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, if we get this whole logo thing squared up before then, we'll launch it then. We'll launch our Instagram along with it, and we can take pictures, put them up on Instagram of us at the show.
Yep.
It'd be awesome.
That's the plan, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here in a bit. We're at the halfway point. It's Have Fun on the Indies. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jeff, and you're Abe.
And I'm Abe.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm Abe.
Wait, that's
you're
my
Jeff.
Beer. That's my beer.
Have fun on the Indies. Come back for the half.
See you at the half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back from break. This is the second half of the show. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
And welcome to the second half of Have Fun on the Indies. And before we jump off that WWE train and onto that New Japan Pro Wrestling train and that deathmatch train, I have one more WWE thing to talk about. You know what's kind of cool? Did you ever want to watch WWE versus Glow? The gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
You were telling me about that earlier. I forgot.
You kind of get to see that.
Uh-huh.
Except it won't be in a wrestling ring. It's going to be in a rap battle. Believe it or not, on TBS, there's this show called Drop the Mic where they have these actresses and people from all walks of life go on there and rap. And at first it seems like it might be corny, but the raps are really good.
They're sick.
They're incredibly good. This should be interesting. I don't know who's going to represent Glow, but representing WWE is going to be Carmella, Alicia Fox, and Brie and Nikki. And the main event of it all is going to be Chris Jericho versus Layla Ali, the former world champion women's boxer.
Really?
Kind of weird, kind of interesting. I'll watch it. I'll probably smoke a joint and just enjoy it. It should be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not meant to be taken too seriously. Not as serious as
That'll be fun.
Not as serious as Shawn Michaels was was interviewed earlier, sometime during, I don't know if it was this week or last week. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm distracted because we keep watching this match on the screen right now here in the studio while we're doing the podcast. A lot of times we have matches that we have on just while the podcast is going, so we have some inspiration going on. And right now we're watching a Noah match, Pro Wrestling Noah match with Katsuyori Shibata and Kenta versus Takeshi Morishima and Mohammed Yon. And I'm not going to get into it because right now is not the time. We're discussing Shawn Michaels' possible comeback.
Yeah.
However, dear Lord, this is before Strong Style evolved.
Yeah.
It hasn't got there yet, but my God, the hits are insane.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I get distracted a little bit. Anyways, Shawn Michaels was saying that he's officially retired. He retired, I think, at WrestleMania 26, which was in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
He might want to come back, is the rumor mill.
I knew he would.
The thing is, he understands his place, and he understands that his body can't do. These are his words.
Yeah.
He understands his body can't do what his younger body could do. So he says the only way he might ever come back is if it's like maybe in a tag team with Triple H or something along those lines. I don't think he wants to do a one-on-one match.
I thought he did, actually, right?
Well, right now in the
Against
meantime,
a few opponents.
I don't know, from what I was reading, he was saying that he's no longer... See, Michaels right now, let's start at the beginning. Michaels right now works at the WWE Performance Center.
Yep.
He helps all the young talent, which you couldn't pick a better person
Yep.
to show the business to people, because Shawn Michaels has his fingers on the pulse of wrestling society now, but he has the old school mentality of teaching people how to actually wrestle.
He always has.
Always has. As much as I hated the guy when he was feuding with Bret the Hitman Hart,
Yep.
him and Bret Hart put on the Iron Man match, which made me want to be, oh my God, I want to be a professional wrestler. After that match, I wanted to be a professional wrestler. Shawn Michaels, even in his rookie days in the WWE, was elite. Most of his performances were premium. And you can't talk shit about the guy. You might have hated his attitude. You might have hated the fact that he was a dick. They didn't want to put certain people over. They didn't even want to put Stone Cold over at one point.
Yep.
But he was elite WWE star.
Always, definitely.
They interviewed him. Who interviewed him? Sky Sports interviewed him because they were promoting the WWE UK Championship Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which, if you want results on that or you want news on that, go to WWE.com. They have
Yeah.
everything there.
We had a busy week, folks.
Exactly. Also, in case people didn't know, we all know he trained Daniel Bryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, you're correct, was one of the people that he wanted to wrestle
Mhm.
one-on-one.
These names.
Can you
besides
imagine
him
Daniel Bryan?
versus Shawn Michaels?
Dear God. Take my money
That's the sound
and
of
take it fast.
sound of my brain exploding.
Here's my credit card. Anyways,
Here's my
another
social
guy,
security number.
another guy that he would want to wrestle, which is another blow my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah, okay, now you can have my social security number.
That's what I'm saying.
Take it.
Can you imagine either Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan or Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles?
Oh.
That doesn't
I
belong.
can't pick one.
That belongs nowhere but WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can't pick one.
Would
Can
be
I
awesome.
have both? I hope I can have both.
You know, Shawn Michaels was one of the guys that gave me some of the best memories, man. Besides that Iron Man match, when Shawn Michaels just turned heel, it got crazy, man. They did the whole Canada versus United States thing.
Oh, yeah.
Shawn Michaels was in the middle of it with Bret. It turned very real, very fast. Emotions were high. The arenas were still smoky and dark and fringe, and the fucking ring curtains weren't LED screens. There wasn't lights everywhere. You know, it felt like a fight.
It's the post. The posts bother me, man. Why the posts got to be a screen, too?
Dude, even the fucking posts are screens
That's
now.
the ring curtains. I guess I get it, but when the post did it, I was like, "Fucking ring post is a screen too."
That's the problem. It almost feels like they think we're so stupid that we need something shiny and colorful to keep our attention.
Big flashing lights, I guess.
It's okay to leave it like it's still a combat sport.
I mean,
it doesn't have to be a combat sport, but you could kind of treat it a little bit like I miss the old MSG. Remember that Raw logo where it was literally just said Raw?
Yep.
And wrestlers would come out, and there wouldn't be as much pyro. There'd be pyro here and there, but it wouldn't be that much pyro. It'd be a smoky arena. It was just looked cool.
Ah, the good old days.
The good old days. Anyways, Shawn Michaels was always an inspiration. If he does come back, guaranteed fact, I'll be watching. He says the most probable way he'll come back is if he tag teams with Triple H because it'll be easier on his body. He knows he can't put on maybe 5-star performances the way he's always used to doing. He said it himself. If I ever do come back, which he probably won't, don't expect Mr. WrestleMania. You know, he's older.
Unless it's
Shawn Michaels, good luck, man. You provided me with years and years of entertainment. You inspired me to be a professional wrestler. You and Bret, in my opinion, started this whole Attitude Era revolution. Thank you, Shawn.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you did.
They definitely started it.
Anyways, now we're going to jump from the WWE train straight to the New Japan Pro Wrestling train.
Now I gotta cram a bunch of indie stuff into like 20 minutes.
Pretty much.
All right. but New Japan is not an indie. I don't care what you say. So, we have had the finals of the Best of Super Juniors Tournament 25. And I should bet you some money.
Why?
Because my boy won.
The guy you chose won, huh?
Hiromu Takahashi is your Best of Super Juniors champion.
Man, we were following this thing for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It was very tedious and tiresome because these tournaments go on for days and days and days.
Yeah.
And amongst those days, there's also Raw to catch up on, SmackDown. Once in a while, we catch an NXT. Then the weekends come along. There's CZW. We kept up, though. We're champs.
Yeah,
but you know
did.
what? My pick, Tiger Mask, didn't make it. But you got the winner.
You know, I actually didn't think Hiromu would win it either.
I watched.
And he did. And I'm ecstatic.
I watched most of the match, and it was pretty insane.
Nuts.
I mean, holy fuck. And it makes you think, like, I'm kind of glad I never decided to pursue this pro wrestling shit and only did it for a fucking, good 6 years. Because, my God, these guys put up a pace that I can't believe.
Yeah, never doubt yourself, my friend. I always tell you that. But
I know.
that shit was nuts. That was
dude.
nuts. I thought Kushida and Ospreay last year was great.
Oh, it was great.
I mean, it was.
But this kept up with the tradition of the final being...
The Best of Super Juniors being fucking nuts.
It could qualify as a match of the year.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you really wanted it to, if people don't forget about it, because this tournament was big, but it wasn't as big as the show that we're going to talk about.
It wasn't even as
in a
big
bit
as the G1's going to be. So.
Yeah, it wasn't the biggest thing New Japan
It is,
did.
but it gets overshadowed by the G1.
Speaking of New Japan,
So,
what do they have coming up?
New Japan has the G1 special.
No, they have Dominion.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
Hang on. Oh, that's
Wow.
my bear.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Do you remember Dominion, dumbass?
Do I even remember Dominion?
Because to me, Dominion seems like...
Apparently not.
Because to me, Dominion seems like...
Apparently, I completely skipped that part of my notes here. You know, because they're never in order. No. Dominion
I want to...
6'9".
I hate you.
Dominion is Okada and Omega 4.
I hate you. Anyways, Dominion is looking like...
Stacked.
Jeff, every time I'm going to talk, you
No.
interrupt me. What the fuck?
Not every time.
You've done it like 4 times
I
in a
just
row
did it
right now. And again.
Anyways, Dominion.
Anyways, do I need to throw this podcast in the trash? Because it's
No.
ruined.
Jeez. It's the second time you've said that.
I know. Anyways.
We've been way drunker than this.
Okay, stop telling the people we're intoxicated. It's not professional. So, moving on.
You're not.
Moving on. New Japan Pro Wrestling has Dominion coming up. Jeff went over the top matches right now. Also, I feel like New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion could actually be the event of the summer. The only thing that can compete with it is SummerSlam.
Dominion feels like it's going to be SummerSlam for New Japan, definitely. Like,
Right?
What, like, the top 3 matches of this card?
Exactly. The top 3 fucking matches of this card. Here, just go to the top 2 alone. The top 2 alone will sell out 1,000-seats arenas. The top 2 matches alone with Tetsuya Naito versus my man, one of my top wrestlers, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Chris Jericho.
Alpha Club.
Dear God. Dear God. And if that's not good enough, it's a 60-minute time limit.
For the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Chris Jericho is a fucking soldier. Chris Jericho is a fucking soldier. I'm going to repeat that. At his age, after the career he's had, he's been everywhere. He's been in Japan before. He was in WCW. He was in the WWE. Has had one of the most illustrious careers in all of professional wrestling in the modern era. And he's still going to go there and wrestle 60 minutes for, here's the crazy part, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. That could be the main event of anything. And then we move on to the main event. What's the main event, Jeff?
Okada Omega 4.
Okada Omega 4. we all do know by now, right? If you're not living under a rock, these guys have put on some of the best matches in the world. Bar none. Entertaining matches, athletic matches, hard-hitting matches. Every match they've done has been A+. And here's the kicker. It's 2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls. They won't get a time limit draw this time, right?
I will give my left nut if someone can give me a plane ticket and a ticket to the fucking event.
That this short of notice?
Dear God, 100% I'm going to try to stay up to 3 in the morning to watch that.
Yeah.
100% it's going to be a lot of coffee, a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, definitely.
And from New Japan Pro Wrestling, the king of sports.
To
what, Jeff? What are we moving on to?
You know, I showed you...
Our guilty pleasure?
I showed you this guy the other day, I think. Remember Shellac?
Oh, I remember Shellac. I tweeted about Shellac.
Yeah, we were getting in the spirit of the deathmatch tournament season, and I showed you Shellac. And Shellac was in GCW's Tournament of Survival this past weekend.
Okay.
On June 2nd.
On June 2nd, fine.
And your tweet that went out was about the fact that he's also going to be in the CZW Tournament of Death on June 9th.
What?
He'll be the only person that's in both big deathmatch tournaments this year.
I know.
I believe.
So, he was in the IWA Mid-South tournament.
To the GCW Tournament of Survival.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The GCW Tournament of Survival. And now he's going to be...
in CZW Tournament of Death.
In CZW Tournament of Death.
But wait, there's more, and you just said it. He's been in 3. He will be in 3 as of this Saturday, June 9th, same day as Dominion. What was the other one he was in?
IWA Mid-South. And this is all in a matter of, it feels like less than a week.
It was, let me check the calendar here. It was literally...
See, I don't know what to say about this, because he obviously is going to go far in all of these tournaments. And even if he doesn't go far, his style, from what I've seen, because I'm new to Shellac, I kind of like him as a deathmatch wrestler, is kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
So my thing is, how safe-conscious is this?
Yeah.
Are none of these promoters, I mean, by the time he reaches CZW, are none of these promoters worried that he can seriously be injured?
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, it makes me think, like, God damn, it feels like sometimes wrestling promoters are just scumbags. Who's here to look after this guy? I'm sorry. Who's here to look out after this guy? He has nobody telling him that might be a bad idea. I get the fighting spirit. I get the whole deathmatch thing. I get Mick Foley back in the fucking 90s, did a whole deathmatch, 3 matches in one night, was all destroyed. But this guy's having more than 3 matches in that amount of time. He's having more.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's not safe. It's not healthy. And someone needs to talk to this guy because, quite frankly, from what I've seen of him, I like his crazy character. I like how he wrestles. He uses things with impact. He's not a bad wrestler at all. Someone needs to look out after him. And if he wants to do the deathmatch stuff, more power to him. But don't put yourself in all these deathmatch tournaments, which are within days of each other, and cut your career short.
Yeah.
Someone needs to get in his ear, and hopefully he listens to this podcast. Dude, don't wreck your body the first couple years you've been in the industry. Save it. You're talented. Do a deathmatch if you feel you need to prove that you can do one. Do a deathmatch because you like it, maybe. But don't wreck your body to that extreme just yet.
Yeah.
Conserve yourself, man.
Yeah.
Don't end up like Supreme did. As fucked up as that sounds to say. Because I loved Supreme. Supreme was one of my favorite deathmatch wrestlers. And, dear God, it did not end well for him.
Who am I?
Supreme, okay?
Supreme. Anyways. Great advice. You probably should have told him that before May 18th and 19th, because those are the days of the IWA Mid-South King of the Deathmatch Tournament.
And it's like a 2-day thing.
2-day thing.
And these IWA Mid-South shows are a bit different than the GCW and the Combat Zone shows. IWA Mid-South's been around for over 20 years.
In 1996.
They've done death matches for over 20 years. And I understand they've been around a long time and have a lot of history to them, but quite frankly, they're not the safest. And
No.
here's all these people on the forums who watch New Japan and whatever. They're all gonna say, "Well, death matches aren't safe. They're not meant to be safe." No, they're not. But there's ways that you can make it as safer than what IWA Mid-South does sometimes.
So, Shellac, in his match, decimates everyone with a filing cabinet, first of all.
And as fucked up as that sounds, because wouldn't you think if someone walked up to you and said, in a pro wrestling match, someone grabbed a filing cabinet and used it, I would think garbage. But Shellac, and this is what I mean, showed a tiny hint of brilliance, and moves were done on it. And when he hit people with it, he hit them the right way to where it didn't look like complete crap.
Like a rampage, like a savage, just
He
swinging
went crazy.
around at everybody.
He went Shellac
Uh-huh.
on people.
And then powerbomb.
That powerbomb was fucking vicious.
Right?
But what happened
Yeah.
during that whole match? Something happened to Shellac.
So,
Everything has consequences.
it's a filing cabinet. There's parts of it that are metal and hard and stick out and are separate from all the others.
Exactly.
When you slam a human body on it, things will stick out. And when you do a sit-down powerbomb on it, things like the frame for the bottom drawer can go impaling into the back of your thigh, which is exactly what happened to Shellac in that match.
Which is exactly what happened to Shellac in that match. He had to be taken in an ambulance. And he's back to do more.
2 weeks later, he's at GCW Tournament of Survival.
That's what I'm saying, man. 2 weeks later, he's at GCW Tournament of Survival. So we're going to get here. Let's finish off with this IWA stuff.
Yeah. So,
Who won the tournament?
in some weird, confusing thing where the IWA champion, John Wayne Murdoch, loses the title earlier in the tournament to Nick Gage. I'm not sure how that happens. Nick Gage faces Ricky Shane Page in a House of Horrors, light tubes hanging from the ceiling death match.
The whole light tubes hanging from the ceiling thing I'm not a fan of.
Yeah,
I know other
neither
companies have
am I.
done it. I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, I don't like it. Nick Gage wins and is IWA Mid-South champion and King of the Deathmatch tournament champion.
Nick Gage is another one of those guys who apparently appears at hella deathmatch tournaments.
Yeah, because this isn't the only one he's in.
And you told me something which I'm not sure is true. He trains people along with Homicide.
Yeah, in the compound for GCW, their training school.
Man, that's hella weird to me because I don't know. They must be paying Homicide because I wouldn't figure he would be so closely associated with the company that's all deathmatch like.
Yeah, because I don't even think I've seen him on any of their shows, actually.
I don't know. The whole IWA Mid-South thing, I love those shows and I understand the heart that these wrestlers put out in the ring for these shows, but sometimes they're so unprofessional with the way they handle things, with the weapons that are allowed to be used, with just everything. Like, hey, just because it's a death match doesn't mean you could grab the mic and say fuck. Dude, I can't remember who did it.
Over and over and over.
There was a guy who said the word fuck in 7 seconds he had said the word fuck like 4 times.
Yeah.
And that's not a promo.
Not to mention...
That's just yelling and trying to be tough. Not every deathmatch wrestler has to be the tough guy. You can show you're tough in the ring. When you cut a promo, show your personality.
Not everybody has to yell the word fuck. I mean, we've done it 3 times in the last 10 seconds, but we're not cutting a promo in a ring in front of people.
So, moving on from IWA Mid-South.
IWA Mid-South King of the Deathmatch tournament.
We move over to New Jersey.
To New Jersey for GCW, Zandig's Tournament of Survival.
Zandig's Tournament of Survival. Zandig,
3.
a man who has a lot of experience in death matches because of CZW. He was the face and soul of CZW for the longest time. He's obviously in GCW now. And from the opening moments of this show,
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think this GCW Tournament of Survival might have been the best deathmatch tournament I've watched in years.
I agree.
From top to bottom, from the
Agree.
production value, from the way the cameras were so close where you could feel like the light tube glass is going to hit you in the face, to the lights, to the amount of fans that showed up. Over 500 people showed up to this event.
Yeah.
They promoted the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Awesome show from top to bottom. I can't say enough good things about it. Final match was tag team partners
The GCW,
having a death match each other.
The GCW Tag Team Champions.
Oh my god, it's all I can say.
Yeah.
Insanity. Awesome fucking match.
So, let's go over some of the highlights first.
Sure.
It started out from the start, great match. But here we go. I must be hooked on Shellac because I want to talk about Shellac's match.
Dude, I'm not mad at that because I'm liking Shellac.
Yeah.
Let's just hope somebody gives this man advice a little bit.
On life-saving advice? Yeah. So, we've been talking about this before, how we miss, like, you know, the death matches of old, and how Megumi Kudo and Combat Toyota is a great death match, one of our favorites.
Sure.
Because of the use of psychology and...
One of our favorites, if not our favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It was a violent, brutal death match with two women, and they pulled it off. Dude, it was a 5-star death match.
Yeah, definitely.
It was that good. It felt like a wrestling match with weapons. Mm-hmm. Not a weapons match that has wrestling sprinkled here and there. Because it's still a professional wrestling show.
It's still professional wrestling. So, we all remember, I hope now, that Shellac got impaled 2 weeks prior to this in the back of his thigh, where there's like a main artery that keeps you alive.
Dear Lord.
Marcus Crane is his opponent. Some beautiful things happen.
Here's the thing. Marcus Crane gets in the ring. And guess what happens that we haven't seen in a long time in death matches?
Yeah.
He starts working a body part. Creatively. Even using weapons creatively on Schlack's leg.
On his upper thigh.
Beautiful work. Beautiful death match. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was so brutal, and I know you love this too, that it had a referee stoppage.
Whoever came up with this ending was a goddamn genius.
Yes, all of it.
Shellac couldn't continue because his leg was destroyed. That there was a ref stoppage. Made Shellac look good because Shellac didn't quit. Makes it perfect for Shellac to return and still look like a badass. And it still made his opponent look great. Awesome ending. Whoever's booking these things, which I'm not sure Zandig's the creative part of it, or he's just the guy that brings the talent over, like with certain wrestlers. I was astonished and amazed at how good this booking was for this show.
Yeah.
I want to go to a GCW show.
Yeah, I do too. Especially after
We've been to WWE ones. We've been to New Japan Pro Wrestling ones. We've been to Ring of Honor. We went to our favorite ultra-violent company of all time. Because, you know, they weren't just hardcore. XPW. I want to go see a GCW show.
I do too. I do.
Hopefully, I can go watch a Tournament of Survival one day.
They're going all over the country. They were in New Orleans during Mania weekend, and they've got something booked in New York in August.
Please come to California.
So yeah, please come to California, GCW. I am buying a ticket to that.
Speaking of Shellac, we talked about Shellac, how he's doing a lot of deathmatch tournaments. Here's another guy who's been known throughout the years. He's been wrestling for a super long time. We talked about him earlier, who does a lot of death matches. Nick Gage. Nick Gage, I'm not his biggest fan or anything like that, but he did something pretty creative.
Yeah.
He used a fishing rod and fish hooked.
And hooked.
Cibolo. Hooked Cibolo in the mouth and was yanking on that shit.
Tried to reel him in like he was a bass.
It went to looking ridiculous and me about to lose my temper and be like, why are you doing this? To, oh my God, that shit looks painful. Yanked it, and finally did a super yank and flipped them over the ropes. Oh man, that shit looked painful. It looked creative. I liked it.
Getting a fish hook in me anywhere is like a terrifying fear I have. Like that was cool, like squeamish for me in my stomach for that one.
The only thing in GCW that I had a problem with, and not even necessarily a problem with it, it was done right. They didn't use it stupidly, but I was not a big fan of it. Was that whole someone brought out a saw.
Yeah, so.
What kind of saw, Jeff? It was one of those...
A sawzall.
What does that mean?
It was in the main event for the win of Tournament of Survival. Ciplo and his tag team partner, Medio Extremo, used a fucking sawzall on their fucking heads.
They sure did.
Yeah, they did. They
turned that shit on. They turned the power on it. And they used it decently. I mean... They didn't make it look dumb.
Yeah.
They didn't insult our intelligence in a way to where it looked soft.
No.
But I'm
No,
not.
they didn't.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan of those weapons.
No, I'm not.
For some reason, I'm not.
I thought the fish hook was bad, and I wanted to like kind of puke. After seeing that, I was cringing and covering my face in fear. I mean, I didn't look away, but
Hell, there's an iconic image of someone using a weed whacker once,
mm-hmm.
and even that was a little too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about those things, but it's like I don't want to see machines.
Yeah.
Cut your flesh
things
open.
that don't belong. We'll have to cover, like, what was it, the top 5 most horrible things we've seen in death matches ever. We'll cover that later on. Good
Anyways,
stuff in that.
we went over CZW,
The
Tournament of
GCW.
Death. No, we went over
Tournament of
GCW,
Survival.
but last week we went over, because what we have next is the whole CZW,
Mm-hmm.
Tournament of Death.
CZW is 6/9, same day as Dominion.
It's the same day as Dominion, June 9th. And we went over the matches last week.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost 30 minutes in. It looks like we're at the end of this baby.
Well, then let's wrap this up with Shellac.
Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
Because Shellac was in the IWA Mid-South King of the Deathmatch Tournament on 5/18 and 5/19. 2 weeks later, he's in GCW Tournament of Survival.
Fucking hell.
Referee stoppage because of his thigh impale injury that he got at IWA Mid-South. But, as we tweeted, Shellac is going to be at Tournament of Death as well, a week away from Tournament of Survival.
What the fuck? Rewind this.
Yep.
Rewind. What
I'd
the
like
hell?
to.
Okay. So he just did the whole GCW thing in a match that was very, very physical.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just an easy match.
Mm-hmm.
To where it was just a couple minutes and then it
Both
was
of them
over.
were. Both of them
It
were
was pretty
physical.
crazy. And you're telling me he's going to do the Tournament of
He's
Death?
going to be in Tournament of Death. As of right now, he's the only one, I think, that has been in all 3 of the big deathmatch tournaments.
Those are the big deathmatch tournaments here in the United States.
Of 2018, summer 2018 here in America.
What the
yeah.
fuck?
After the GCW one, which has worked very well and I loved, I'm wondering if they're going to do kind of more of the same thing. I hope they do, because I don't want Shellac's main artery in his leg blowing apart and never seeing Shellac again, because I really like you. You're awesome, dude. Listen to this guy. Maybe don't always do death matches.
Just here and there.
And I love the plastic bag thing, the shopping bag thing. I fucking love it, dude.
That reminds me of a video game I used to play way back in the day called Manhunt, where you use a plastic bag to suffocate people. That bag spot he does is fucking awesome. It's very unique.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go too far to where you're like he's gonna kill the guy.
Yeah.
Because he just submits him pretty much.
It's beautiful. It's violent, and it
fits perfect in that world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not retarded like Legos or fucking
it's
water
not Legos.
jugs on 2x4s.
Water jugs on 2x4s with nothing else. So
Hell, even cabinets. Don't ever bring out another filing cabinet. Even though they used it perfectly, just don't bring out another fucking filing cabinet. It looks trash.
Only let Shellac use the filing cabinet, and make sure that there's nothing that can impale him on the side.
And here's a little bit of advice to all these deathmatch companies. How about we stop using aluminum cans? How about that?
That was brutal, right? That was the first time you've seen that. I've seen GCW do it before. That is fucking insane.
I didn't know what it was until you told me it was fucking aluminum cans. That's fucking retarded.
That
It's
is
stupid.
too much. I'm not a fan of that stuff.
It's fucking dumb.
That is just dangerous. I'm not a fan of full light bulbs as well for the same reason, because that's going to impale your vital organs.
Also, Japan's guilty of crossing that line too. When you're gonna fucking do a death match, don't use live animals. Don't use a fucking alligator, and don't use piranhas and whatever tank of whatever tank of eels. No live animals, please.
Willow branches.
Dear God, it's a freak show. It's already death matches are already crazy. Let's not make it a complete freak show. You know what I mean?
Well,
we're nearing the end, Jeff.
I think it's about time to wrap it up.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm starving.
Is it cheeseburger o'clock?
I don't know what it is. It's something o'clock. It's more beer o'clock for sure.
We always get pizza. Let's get cheeseburger.
Oh, cheeseburgers don't sound bad. Don't sound bad with some beer, because the beer's gonna keep on coming.
We're not drunk.
No, but I love beer. And today, why did we get fancy, Jeff? Today are you kidding me? Stella.
Oh,
The champagne of beers or what?
No, that's Miller High Life. And
oh yeah, man. I'm sorry to say this. I've drank Miller High Life because sometimes you drink what you can get, but Miller High Life is not. I repeat, is not the champagne of beers.
It is not, and it is not the High Life.
Sometimes I want to puke when I drink it.
The headache I get the next day.
It's just totally worth it, right?
Guess what? It's not Miller time, and we're not going to get sponsored by Miller Lite.
I know. God damn it. Wouldn't it be awesome, though, if we got sponsored by beer?
I hope it's Stella.
Would we be the first pro wrestling associated thing to get sponsored by a beer, or has WWE ever been sponsored by beer? Or you know who gets sponsored by beer all the time? AAA in Mexico.
Yeah, Victoria, right?
Yeah, they get sponsored by beer.
Yeah. I mean, those New Japan Modelos were $13.
Dude, I know, right?
And then we saw that billboard right after the first G1. The
Modelo-
only beer with fighting spirit, Modelo.
Modelo looks so tasty, and we walk up to the thing, and it's like, oh, it's $13. Oh, that's not bad. I bet you they're going to give us a giant-ass cup. No.
It was 24 ounces. It was a tall can.
It wasn't worth it for $13. For $13, I could get 3 tall cans in a pack.
Yep.
Or maybe you're just a drunk, Jeff.
Hey, all I know is after that, and the fighting spirit billboard we saw right after it, I think we drank Modelo and Modelo Negro for the next 6 months.
I know. And that, the only thing about that Modelo Negro, it's real thick.
Oh, yeah.
Real thick and dehydrating.
And I love it. Well.
Real thick and dehydrating. Well, we've reached the end because now we're babbling about beer.
Babbling about beer. I guess this is a beer podcast. If any of you guys ever find my Instagram, which I'll never get the name up for, I'm a wrestling, beer, and other things enthusiast.
Hey, we like indie beer, like companies that aren't huge either. Companies that aren't huge, that are walking by. If you want to sponsor us, well, heck, I'll put you on our Twitter, at HaveFunOTI. You want your beer sponsored? At HaveFunOTI on Twitter. You can catch all our social media there. Facebook, our Vimeo, our archive, our YouTube, our SoundCloud. We love beer here at the studio. Jeff, you look hazy. Do I need to call the fucking ambulance?
Truth be told, I've been up since 6 o'clock last night.
I know.
I worked the night shift, so.
You worked the night shift and you haven't got sleep. That's pretty insane.
Yep.
But
it's just a regular Tuesday.
But guess what you still did? We troopered our ass here, right?
That's what it's all about.
As crazy as we didn't want to do it, as exhausted as we are, because just like you folks, we're working people that have to work crazy schedules. We still were disciplined enough to come here and do what we love.
For the business we love.
For the business we love, and that we feel sometimes hurts us.
Only the WWE.
And it makes me want to hurt myself.
Only the WWE.
I'm kidding. It doesn't make me want to do
I never
that.
want to hurt myself, but the WWE makes me want to hurt someone named Vince.
But here's what we're going to do. Our podcast is super new. We get a lot of criticism sometimes over it. Sometimes people don't like it. Sometimes people do like it. It's not very popular as much at the moment. But here's what we're going to end the show with. Remember, hit us up at HaveFunOTI. Here's what we're going to end the show with. A quote by Nicholas Klein, who was an American labor union advocate. Nice quote for our podcast because we're just starting off. Just to keep that. A nice quote for our podcast. A nice quote for anybody that has a goal or a dream of any kind. Here it is. First they ignore you. Then they ridicule you. And then they attack you and want to burn you. And then they build monuments to you. That's the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Have Fun on the Indies. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
At HaveFunOTI. We'll see you guys next time.
Have fun on the Indies.